Good evening, Prof. and classmates. I am Felipe Templo Jr., the Pathology Residency Training Program Director at the Philippine Heart Center, which is also my Strama company in this presentation. The Philippine Heart Center, or PHC, is a government-owned and controlled corporation tertiary hospital specializing in cardiovascular surgery, performing 53% of all surgeries in the Philippines. It has over 2,000 employees, a 2.7 billion in revenue in 2023, growing 17.19% and with a net income of 428 million. SLMC and MMC, PHC serves patients across all income levels, offering comprehensive inpatient and outpatient services, specialized cardiac surgeries, and advanced diagnostic and therapeutic centers. The revised vision reinforces PHC's role as the leading tertiary hospital for cardiovascular surgery, setting standards in excellence, innovation, and patient-centered care. The revised mission emphasizes world-class cardiovascular care, research, and continuous growth to strengthen the nation's healthcare system. Porter's 5 Forces Analysis. The threat of new entrants is low, as high capital investment and strict regulatory barriers make it difficult for new hospitals to enter cardiovascular surgery. The threat of substitutes is also low, since no alternative treatments can replace specialized cardiac surgery. However, patients have high bargaining power, with multiple hospital options and insurance dictating reimbursements. Suppliers hold significant power, as hospitals rely on imported equipment and pharmaceuticals, making supply costs high. Rivalry among competitors is strong, as private hospitals invest in advanced technology and attract top cardiac specialists, intensifying competition. The industry is growing at 5.5% annually, making it moderately attractive. PHC leads in revenue and net income among competitors, generating 532 million in 2023, more than double that of SLMC D3, more than double that of SLMC and MMC. For the competitive profile matrix, I identified 8 key success factors. 1. Surgical outcome, the most important measure of hospital performance. Better outcomes mean fewer mortalities, complications, and faster recovery. Given its direct impact on patient survival, this has the highest weight of 0.20. PHC leads with the lowest mortality rates and highest survival rates, thus rated 4. 2. Surgical expertise and training pipeline. These are essential for delivering safe, consistent cares like CABG. Weighted 0.18 because of its strong influence on long-term clinical performance. Rated 4 because of its high surgical volume, experienced cardiac teams, and established training programs. 3. Pricing and financial accessibility. Affordability affects patient access, making it a major factor. Weighted at 0.16, since hospitals offering high-quality care at lower costs serve a wider population. PHC ranks highest at 4, being the most accessible to all socioeconomic classes. 4. Operational efficiency measures hospital resource use, wait times, and surgical throughput. Given 0.14 weight, as higher efficiency leads to better patient flow and financial sustainability. PHC is rated 4, with high patient volume, optimized, or schedules, and government-backed efficiency. 5. Technology advancement enhances precision and patient safety but does not solely determine surgical success. Weighted at 0.12, it contributes but does not replace core surgical skills. PHC is rated 2, while SLMC in AI-driven and robotic-assisted procedures. 6. Research and academic innovation shape the future of cardiac surgery. Weighted 0.10 since they do not immediately affect surgical outcomes, but long-term impact is critical. PHC leads in research and training programs, thus rated 4. 7. Accreditation ensures quality compliance but has indirect patient impact. Weighted 0.05 because of its importance in credibility but less influence on immediate outcomes. SLMC leads with JCI and ISO certifications, while PHC has DO recognitions. 8. Post-surgical care and rehabilitation. Weighted at 0.05 since they support recovery but do not define surgical success. SLMC ranks highest, offering concierge-style patient care, while PHC focuses on high-volume treatment, with less personalized follow-up. The PHC ranks number 1 in cardiac surgery, excelling in surgical outcomes, high-risk case management, cost efficiency, and operational performance. Overall, PHC remains the top tertiary hospital for cardiovascular surgery in the Philippines, driven by clinical outcomes and accessibility. Using the PESTEL analysis, I identified 5 opportunities and 5 threats. Opportunities. The biggest opportunity is the rising prevalence of cardiovascular diseases, as they remain as the leading cause of mortality in the Philippines. Many Filipinos under 50 are now even affected, increasing the demand for heart centers. Weighted 0.20, the highest among opportunities, as patient volume and revenue depend on disease prevalence. P responds well and rated 4 as it is expanding its bed capacity and facilities while maintaining high surgical output. Government healthcare initiatives are crucial in the context of universal health coverage and PhilHealth expansion, as they greatly improve patient access to life-saving cardiovascular surgeries by subsidizing costs and capacity. Weighted 0.16 because government funding and reimbursements directly influence hospital revenue and service sustainability. It is rated 4.00 for PHC, being the primary beneficiary of these initiatives. Third is advancements in minimally invasive cardiac surgery, MICS, that reduce recovery time, improve patient outcomes aligning with preference for lower-risk surgery. Weighted 0.10, as investment is costly, but enhances hospitals' positioning. MICS has been growing in private hospitals and PHC is responding well by establishing the first cardiothoracic surgery skills lab in Southeast Asia. Thus, rated 3. Fourth is growth in medical tourism. The Philippines is attracting foreign patients because of affordable, high-quality heart surgery. Weighted 0.09 because of infrastructure and policy limitations for large-scale growth. PHC is, however, not fully capitalizing on this because of limited private rooms, bureaucracy, and lack of marketing. Thus, rated 2. Fifth is public-private partnerships, PPP, infrastructure and training to reduce financial strain on government hospitals. Since bureaucracy slows its implementation, weight is 0.05. PHC benefits most from these collaborations, thus rated 3. Threats. The biggest threat is the shortage of cardiovascular specialists. Demand is higher than supply, affecting hospital capacity and patient care. Weighted high at 0.12 because staffing shortages directly affect patient outcomes. PHC is rated 3, as it trains many specialists, but struggles in retention, with many leaving for private hospitals and the small number of trainees will impact the hospitals in the future. Second is the rising cost of medical equipment because of inflation and supply chain issues. Weighted 0.10 because of its direct impact on hospital budgets and ops. PHC is rated 3, because it's still adherent to global benchmarks, allocating 10 to 15% budget to equipment. Third is competition from private multi-specialty hospitals aside from SLMC and Makati Med, which now hold 20% market share. However, barriers to entry remain high, so weighted 0.08. PHC is rated 2, which has minimal direct competition, thus less focused on marketing but loses high-paying patients to private hospitals. Fourth is the economic downturn, which reduces patient affordability for surgeries and increases waiting times. However, since critical heart surgeries are unavoidable despite the economic condition, it is weighted 0.06. PHC is rated 2, as government subsidies protect it, but budget cuts could impact services. Fifth is regulatory challenges from local agency bodies. These are resource-intensive but manageable with proper governance, thus weighted 0.05. PHC is rated 2, that adheres to regulation and maintains international accreditation but faces bureaucratic delays. The total weighted score of 3.07 indicates that PHC is effectively responding to external factors in its environment. For the IFA, I'll focus on 1 strength and 2 weaknesses not included in my CPM. PHC's unique strength is its strong public trust and institutional legacy. Since 1975, it has been a national leader in cardiac care. Weighted 0.05 because it's intangible, deeply rooted, and less actionable in the short term. Rated 3, as it is doing well but must modernize its image to stay ahead. The first weakness is retention issues among trained surgical staff. PHC trains top talent, but some leave for private hospitals or abroad. Weighted 0.09, a high score, because it affects capacity and long-term sustainability. Rated 2, a minor but growing issue. PHC must strengthen retention strategies to preserve its core services. Second, bureaucratic inefficiencies. As a GOCC, PHC deals with slow procurement and rigid policies. Weighted 0.05, since it's expected in public hospitals, but still slows down responsiveness. Rated 1, a major weakness compared to more flexible IFA score is 3.25, indicating strong internal capability. PHC's current and quick ratios showed steady improvement from 2021 to 2023, demonstrating a strong liquidity position and better short-term financial health than its private counterparts. While the debt-to-equity ratio peaked at 69% in 2022, the rebound in ROE to 7.27% by 2023 indicates more efficient use of equity and recovering profitability. In 2023, PHC significantly, pointing to underutilized resources or slower operational ramp-up relative to its asset expansion. However, the sharp rise in net profit margin to 15.85% reflects a robust post-pandemic revenue recovery and improved cost efficiency, signaling strong overall financial resilience. This is my SWOT analysis. The TOES matrix along with the strategies formulated. This is the second table of TOES matrix. It highlights PHC's strong surgical outcomes, institutional trust, and training programs, which position well to seize opportunities and counter external threats through partnerships, digital transformation, and expanded training pipelines. For Space Matrix, PHC landed on the aggressive quadrant because of its strong industry position, suggesting that strategies like product and market development remain viable. The BC surgery and interventional cardiology as PHC's core strengths in the STARS quadrant, while supporting services like outpatient care fall into cash cows and question marks, guiding strategic focus to reinforce PHC's leadership in cardiovascular care and surgery. The IE matrix positions PHC in cell 1 in the grow and build quadrant, indicating strong internal and external performance, and supporting aggressive strategies to further enhance its leadership in cardiac care. For Grand Strategy Matrix, PHC landed in Quadrant 1, indicating a strong competitive position in a rapidly growing market of strategies to sustain leadership and innovation. The summary of matrices concludes that the focus has to be on intensive strategies of market penetration, market development, and product development, since they scored the top 3 highest among the strategies. For QSPM, the highest internal score is product development. The highest external score is also product development. QSPM prioritizes product development as the most attractive strategic option, reflecting the institution's strong internal capabilities and opportunity to lead through innovation and service enhancement. Our strategic objective is cardiovascular surgery by increasing total cardiac surgery volume by 5% annually through improved service delivery and optimized capacity. Financially, we aim to grow internally generated revenue by 12% annually by 2027. Here is the summary of strategies. There are two for each market penetration, market development, product development, and one horizontal integration strategy. Product development emerged as the most attractive strategy in the QSPM because of its strong alignment with PHC's internal strengths and external opportunities, building on PHC's established surgical excellence, research, and institutional credibility to drive innovation and enabling long-term sustainability through differentiated, high-value service offerings that enhance clinical impact and financial performance. And now for the impact of each strategy. Developing AI-powered diagnostic tools and digital cardiac platforms modernizes care delivery and can create new billable tech-enabled services for remote and in-hospital patients. Offering bundled screening and rehab services enhances patient retention and generates recurring income from value-based care packages for high-risk individuals. Implementing smart scheduling and electronic records increases operational efficiency, allowing PHC to accommodate more patients and reducing service delays that limit revenue. Attracting international patients opens a new revenue stream leveraging PHC's price advantage and surgical expertise for foreign payers. Scaling executive care-paying demographic, generating income through premium preventive care packages and corporate clients. Expanding outreach to underserved areas increases patient volume and referrals, boosting utilization of services and unlocking PhilHealth reimbursements and public funding. Strengthening referral pathways ensures a steady inflow of complex surgical cases, raising revenue through increased surgical admissions and optimized use of specialized facilities. Partnering with private hospitals and universities enables CO investment in research and training, diversifying income through joint ventures, shared programs, projects. And this is the summary of the impact of the recommended strategies. Over the next 4 years, all 3 hospitals are expected to grow steadily, with PHC retaining the largest market share due to its cardiovascular specialization. SLMC and MMC will see modest gains from stable demand. PHC's market share will gradually rise as it captures more patients from smaller providers. The strategy map outlines its vision to maintain its leadership in cardiovascular care by achieving financial sustainability, expanding access to services, and enhancing patient satisfaction. It also emphasizes advancing clinical processes, fostering innovation in heart care, and investing in workforce capabilities, research, and leadership development to ensure continuous growth and excellence. The balanced scorecard focuses on improving financial performance through services and cost management, enhancing customer satisfaction and service accessibility, optimizing operational efficiency and clinical outcomes, and fostering employee development and research innovation to achieve high-quality patient care and sustainable growth in 2025. Here is the 3-year final projection for balance sheet. The 3-year final projection for income statement. The 3-year final projection for the cash flow. And the relevant financial ratios. In graphs. PHC maintains a competitive advantage through its high patient volume and extensive experience in cardiovascular cases. As the country's foremost institution focused exclusively on heart care, it delivers specialized, multidisciplinary services backed by decades of clinical expertise. By combining this focused excellence with affordable, government-subsidized care, PHC provides an ecosystem unmatched by private hospitals.